So we took a look at our job descriptions. We took a look at our job announcements and recruitment practices and our outreach. And we took another look also at our performance evaluations and how we were holding our leaders and ourselves accountable. Um, and so actually, I'm going to show you a slide of job, really kind of performance competencies. Let's see if I can get this up here. All right, hopefully you all can see that. We took a look at some job competencies that we had. I'm just showing kind of what we did in our performance evaluation and accountability space. And our job competencies were, pretty spot on. You need to know your job. You need to be able to understand the clients you work with and work with your team. Take initiative, communication, safety and risk, reliability and judgment. Then we added within our leadership space, we added some real competencies that did not necessarily align with having a degree. So we had to take a really hard look at what our requirements were for leadership. We were not promoting from within, even if someone had 10 or 15 years of experience and were able to lead a team. And we all know leadership is not a title. And we were not promoting because someone did not have a degree. And we put a heavy emphasis on credentials as opposed to what their experience and capacities were. And so we began to take a look at ourselves and added some leadership competencies that we felt were pretty important with how we operated within our organization. But then across the board, we wanted to be sure that everyone was held accountable for how our relationships and how we were interacting with one another, as well as our inclusion, our efforts around inclusion and making sure that our external and internal stakeholders were a valued part of our organization. And we were able to communicate that in various different ways. And so we took a shift in this particular realm in our world. And then also, with this shift let me go to my next slide. I'm sorry. We took a look at, as I said, really the degree requirement that we had, and which are great. And I don't want to ever imply that degree attainment and other credentials are non-important. They are. They are valued within our organization. But what we did was we took a look and see what could be a companion ideal candidate for us to be able to meet our objectives and our goals, and who is mission aligned and all of that. So we took a look here, and I'm sorry I used my HR term. MQs mean minimum qualifications. I'm sorry. Degrees, traditionally in our hiring, we require degrees and job titles. If you had the title of manager in your role, then you were qualified, right? If you had a bachelor's or master's degree, then automatically you were qualified. And we did not place value or weight on specific competencies, deliverables, and things. And so we wanted to, this is kind of just a high level glimpse, an idea of kind of what we begin to think about. It should be perspective was very narrow and homogenous, and versus having a broader pool of ideals of folks who could come in and add to the culture that we had here. We kind of leaned away from what we call the ideal fit because we were not interested in maintaining or staying the same. We wanted to include and bring along folks who would challenge us to be better, to think bigger, to think broader, to think differently. And it completely flipped our organization. We did a 180, which was beautiful in so many different ways. We have a very different relationship here in our region and even across the country. We have a very different relationship with our clients and our residents and families, even down to the neighborhood level. And the assessments for these are here as well. How do you assess these things and attract the talent here? We're looking at work samples. We're looking at reports. We're looking at other deliverables, simulations. I've done those myself. I said, tell me what you're going to do here. Write up a report, write up a plan. How are you going to respond? Uh, we deal, real life examples and realistic examples of how we operate and the different things that we encounter. And our area of focus shifted as well. We're looking at currently, what are you able to do? What can you do? How can you come into our organization and help elevate? And what can we do as well in return to level up in every way imaginable? And we're also looking at the future potential of individuals within our organization. We learned very early on and saw very clearly that our leadership did not reflect who we served. Our lived experience was not aligned. It wasn't valued by, you have families coming in every day who are living on the margins, and you had no connection to the realities of that on a day-to-day basis. And so with a shift in what we valued within our leadership, within our workforce, within our staff, and even our volunteers, we begin to see that shift and that change happen over time. And I will say again, it was not easy. It was not welcomed at every level, but it was intentional, and there was a real commitment to it. And so we definitely are proud of those outcomes and the things that we have today. And again, it's progress, not perfection. And that's what we aspire to do, and who we aspire to be every day is the organization that everyone would want to come work with or for, and value the people that we have here.